Hey, hello everybody. It is a Wednesday afternoon and no, it isn't. It's Tuesday. I'm trying to get this week to get by me before it's really time. It's only Tuesday afternoon. And we're having Tuesday's talk. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about travel, about journeys, spiritual journeys. And, we run into so many opportunities, I'm sure, on the internet, in your emails that you're getting, different types of learning opportunities. We're talking about a mindfulness retreat coming up in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm sure you get these if you're digging into your spiritual life at all and sort of following and listening and reading and studying into different teachers that resonate with you, that you're running into opportunities to possibly take different types of journeys, to physically travel to, I've been wanting to do a trip with Abraham Hicks and with Esther Hicks. That's something that's shown up for me a few times. So I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about, with all of these choices, how do we decide? How do you know where you should spend your money, where you should spend your time, and most importantly, where you should spend your energy? And I've done a lot of that traveling, the traditional journeying that a lot of people think about when I talk about a spiritual journey. In the past 6 years, I have, my first trip was to Maui to meet Ram Dass in person. And I was just so honored and so grateful to have an opportunity to truly meet him and talk with him. And that was sort of the beginning of a lot of my spiritual awakening and my beginning of awakening in my spiritual life. So, but what happened with that for me was it just kept showing up. And that's sort of been the pattern for me. When a certain opportunity or a certain teacher or a certain trip of some sort tends to keep showing up in my awareness, specifically from different ways, in different, from a different place, then generally to me, that's my inner guru kind of saying, yeah, do it, go for it. And so the Maui trip kept showing up for me, and my love for Ram Dass kept showing up. And when that trip showed up in my awareness, I felt very compelled to go and be a part of that particular trip. And I met 2 or 3 just beautiful souls that have helped me along my way, in addition to Ram Dass, when I went on that trip. But I also went to Brazil a couple times, and I met with John of God. I was in India last year for 3 weeks, and I went to the ashram of Neem Karoli Baba. So I did that journey. I went to Florida last year and met in person Sadhguru, who is another just amazing, powerful being that just drew me in and resonated just so powerfully with me that I just was so compelled to go that I could almost not go. Sometimes things just show up and they keep showing up. And I think that's your inner guru's way of telling you, pay attention. This might be something worth spending your money, your time, your energy on. I also went to Atlanta and met Wayne Dyer several years back. That was something that kept showing up. It was a writer's conference. As a result of that, I ended up writing my book, which is yet to be published, but it is all out there in editable format now for me to get ready to publish. So lots and lots of trips and opportunities to go out and take a spiritual journey. I know you're hearing about this mindfulness retreat from us as well. And I think the best thing that I can tell you, and the reason I named my company what I named it, and it's called Our Inward Journey. I think if you really want to know where you need to go or where your next teaching is going to show up, you have to take that journey inward. You really have got to bring in a mindfulness practice in your life, stabilize it, quiet down the noise in your life, all the chaos that's going on around you, because it's really hard to know, whether something really resonates with you if you don't quiet things down around you. So the first thing I would say is take that inward journey. And there's a couple ways to do that. There's actually a couple ways. One way that you almost have to do it. You almost have to meditate. Meditation is something that is just a non-negotiable in my life. And you can start out slow. You can start out 10, 15 minutes a day. I'm up to probably 45 minutes in the morning, and I try to get in 15 to 20 minutes at night before I go to bed as well. For me, that's a non-negotiable. Because if I'm not doing that, then I can't really trust anything else that shows up. I can't trust that as resonance if I'm not doing my inner clearing and quieting down those other noises. So I take my Vipassana retreat. Of all the journeys that I've taken out there on planes and trains and cars, of all of my physical outward journeys, the most impactful journeys I've ever taken are the Vipassana journeys. And I've done those twice now. I'm sorry, 3 times now. And that is where you really do some really important inner work, and you really start clearing, and then you start hearing things more clearly about your outward journeys. So the first thing I would say is get that foundation of meditation into your schedule, because then when something shows up repeatedly in your awareness, you know it's coming primarily from you. It's coming from your higher self. And from that place, then you can decide if something resonates with you, if something is your next best move. So you'll hear me preach all the time about meditation. You need to do it at home. You got to bring it at home, get really solid in your ability to stay quiet, to quiet yourself down, to quiet down all that chaos and noise and static that's going on up in our minds all the time, to begin to hear your soul's message to you. Then pay attention. When you do have something show up in your awareness and it does resonate with you, especially if it comes from different sources. Now, obviously, if you're on this page, you're hearing about my retreat, you're going to hear about it on this page all the time. But if you happen to be speaking to somebody else and they mention this retreat, or if you happen to see it, with somebody else that you're interested in, you happen to be interested in the teacher who's talking at this retreat, maybe those are your opportunities to pull the trigger and say, yeah, this is something that my soul is calling me to do. But it should resonate with you. It should really be something that just continually shows up in your awareness. For me, it's 3 times. I look for 3 times for something to show up from a different place. And then I go, yes, this is a direction I need to be headed in. So journeys are an interesting thing, because we always think that we need to go somewhere to get something. And the truth of the matter is, you have everything that you need right here. So you don't really need to go anywhere. The reasons we go places is for extra help in getting to our truth. So if you're going to a therapist and the therapist is telling you that they have your answers for what you need to do, turn around and go the other way, because nobody else has your answers. We might all be able to point you in a direction, and the best direction that we can point you to is back to yourself. So to help you clear, to help you quiet down the noises. So yes, there are healers out there who can really provide a lot of benefit for you. There are healers and teachers, ones that I'm having at my retreat, who are gifted and talented and who can help you point yourself back to yourself. Gurus, teachers, healers, all of those have a place, but they have a place if they resonate with you. And they only resonate with you if you can quiet down the outside noises enough to hear that calling when it's there. So start with your meditation. If you really want to dive deeper into your meditation, look into the Vipassana, which is free, and spend your time and energy really digging deep, really doing a purification of your insides and clearing out some of the mess that we've kind of accumulated over lifetimes. And then when you're doing that, when other things start to show up in your awareness, pay attention. If they show up more than once, if they call to you, if somebody else mentions them, those are the things that will indicate what your next move is. So I know it's fun to plan to travel, and it's fun to say you've been to Brazil and to India, and to be able to tell people about all these wonderful trips. But if you aren't a fertile soil, then you can't grow regardless of where you go. So again, the message is always, always, always that the door to fully experiencing your life, a joyful life, opens inward. So you gotta swing that door inward first. Don't forget that. Because swinging it outward, if you're not in a place of receptivity, of resonance, of awareness, you're going to spend a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of energy, and you're not going to have prepared yourself to really hear what you need to hear when you go. So many things start at home, and this is another one of them. If you're thinking about taking trips, journeys, doing a spiritual journey, the book that really kind of brought me into my spiritual awareness was Eat, Pray, Love. Right? She was journeying, she was out looking, but one of the things that she realized in her looking is that it isn't out there, it's in here. And so she figured that out in the course of her journey, but it's a lot less expensive to figure it out by sitting still at home in your own time, in your own space. So I can't impress upon you enough the importance of that. If you haven't gotten that free PDF that I have on my website that teaches you how to meditate, just the foundation of quieting down that noise, please do so. I'll post that link again here. Please pull that thing off the internet and use it. Carve out 10, 15 minutes a day for yourself. And from there, you will know where you need to go. If you get that practice regular in your life, you'll know where you need to go. I'm just starting up a boot camp in mid-February again. If you really read that PDF and it really resonates with you and you really want to bring this practice into your life, this 8-week boot camp is a great way to do it. It's a wonderful way to establish a habit because meditation is hard. You know, we get busy. It's very hard to hold that space for ourselves. We're often helping everybody else, you know, taking care of all their needs. But creating a space for yourself is something that we almost have to really force ourselves to do. You know, we've got to really build a habit, establish a habit. And sometimes having a satsang of others who are doing the same thing at the same time really, really helps. So think about that boot camp too as a low cost opportunity to really become familiar with meditation and bringing it into your life. Hey, Beverly, great to see you. Beverly's one of our boot camp graduates who still hangs out in our weekly sessions. So you'd get to know her as well if you join the boot camp. But that's not really what this talk is about. I really want to impress upon you the importance of doing your work at home. And, you know, that doesn't cost you anything. Sitting still in stillness and quieting down those outside noises so you can hear what resonates with you personally is the most inexpensive and best way to begin to hear what your next best move is. So please be still, take that time, mark it on your calendar, and you will be really clear on what you need to do next. I mean, I'm amazed at how things just show up. The boot camp, the mindfulness retreat that I'm running, it just showed up for me. It's not like I ever thought about organizing a retreat to that caliber. And all of a sudden, this beautiful retreat with these really talented speakers and these this amazing healing drum immersion is showing up. And I am so excited to be a part of all that. And I just feel like it's happening through me. And all I keep telling myself is, Peggy, meditate. Peggy, be still. And let this thing happen through me. Get out of my own way and let the magic happen. Because it doesn't need Peggy. It needs Peggy to get out of Peggy's way. And for you to know what your next move is, it needs you to get out of your own way. And the best way to do that is through meditation. So if I can help you with any of that, again, download that PDF and get some basics on meditation. Look into the boot camp. Maybe consider joining us for that 8-week boot camp. And if none of those things, at least make sure you spend some time for yourself. You create that space because you will hear what you need to do next. All right. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy. In here in Greenville, it's a beautiful sunny day in the end of January, which is hard to believe. Gorgeous out. And I hope you're having a beautiful day yourself. And if there's anything I can do to help you, please don't hesitate to reach out and connect with me. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.